This video will only make sense to you right now. Not tomorrow. Not last week. Right now. You found this because you're feeling completely lost. Directionless. Like everything you once knew about yourself has dissolved. And you're searching for answers. But here's what you need to understand. Feeling lost isn't the problem. It's the sign. The sign you've been waiting for. The sign that everything is about to shift. You didn't stumble upon this video. This moment was orchestrated. Your soul called this message forward because you're ready to understand what's really happening. This is divine timing. Not randomly. Not by chance. You're here because you're awakening. Part 2. Emotional Mirror, 0:30 to 3 o'clock. Chapter 2. The Frequency of Lostness, 1:30. You can't explain it to anyone. When they ask what's wrong, you don't have words. Because nothing is specifically wrong, yet everything feels off. The life you built still exists around you, but you feel like a stranger inside it. Your routines feel hollow. Your relationships feel surface level. The goals you once chased with passion now feel meaningless, like someone else's dreams you've been carrying. You look around and nothing feels like home anymore. Not your job, not your social circles, not even the version of yourself you see in the mirror. You're floating in this strange in-between space, disconnected from who you were, but not yet connected to who you're becoming. And the worst part? You can't pinpoint when it started. It crept in slowly, this feeling of not belonging anywhere, not even inside your own life. People around you seem fine. They're still excited about things that used to excite you. But when you try to engage, you're performing. You're mimicking an older version of yourself that no longer exists. The conversations feel empty. The activities feel draining. You find yourself craving solitude, needing silence, pulling away from everything and everyone. And you wonder, am I depressed? Am I broken? Am I losing myself? But here's what you're not understanding yet. You're not losing yourself. You're shedding a self that was never truly yours. You're not depressed. You're in transition. You're not broken. You're breaking open. This feeling of being lost, this uncomfortable void, this complete dissolution of certainty, this is not a crisis. This is awakening. And your soul knew you needed to feel completely lost before you could be found. What's happening to you right now has a name. It's called frequency recalibration. Your consciousness is upgrading, and that upgrade requires the old programming to shut down first. Think of it like this. You're a radio that's been tuned to the same station for years. That station played certain songs, certain messages, certain frequencies. And for a long time, it worked. But your soul has outgrown that frequency. You've evolved beyond it. And now you're being tuned to a completely different station, a higher bandwidth. But in the process of retuning, there's this moment of static. This moment of silence. This moment where nothing is clear. That's where you are right now. Between frequencies. The old frequency was made up of everything you absorbed from your environment. Your conditioning, your inherited beliefs, the expectations others placed on you, the identity you constructed to survive, to be accepted, to be loved. And all of that created a version of you that functioned in the world. But it wasn't your authentic frequency. It was borrowed. It was adaptive. And your soul has reached a point where it can no longer tolerate living at that borrowed frequency. So it's initiating a purge. This is what spiritual traditions have called the dark night of the soul for centuries. It's what the mystics described as the dissolution phase. Before the caterpillar becomes the butterfly, there's a stage inside the cocoon where the caterpillar completely liquefies. Its entire structure breaks down into cellular soup. Imagine being that caterpillar, conscious during that process. You would feel like you're dying. You would feel like you're losing everything. But that dissolution is not death. It's transformation. It's the necessary destruction before reconstruction. Your subconscious mind is doing something similar right now. It's clearing out years of accumulated programming that no longer serves your highest evolution. Every belief you never questioned, every limitation you accepted as truth, every fear you inherited, every should and must and have to that was installed in you by a world that needed you to be manageable, predictable, controllable. All of it is being purged. And that purging creates a void, an emptiness, a lostness. But here's what modern psychology and ancient wisdom both confirm. The emptiness is not the problem. The emptiness is the preparation. Your consciousness is making space. Space for new beliefs, new frequencies, new versions of who you truly are beneath all the conditioning. The universe is demolishing the old structure because the new structure requires a cleared foundation. You can't build a new self on top of an old identity. The old has to dissolve first. And this is where divine timing becomes crucial. You might feel like this is happening too slowly, or that you're falling behind while everyone else moves forward. But awakening doesn't follow the timeline of productivity culture. Awakening follows the timeline of soul readiness. And right now, in this exact moment, your soul is ready for this dissolution. Not last year, not next month. Now, the fact that you feel lost now means the recalibration is happening now. And it's happening because you've reached the spiritual maturity to handle it. Think about nature. Winter looks like death. The trees are bare. The ground is frozen. Everything appears lifeless. But beneath that apparent death, something essential is happening. The earth is resting, regenerating, preparing for spring. The tree isn't dead when it drops its leaves. It's conserving energy. It's redirecting resources to its roots. It's trusting the cycle. That's what you're doing right now. You're in your winter, and your soul is trusting that spring is coming. Not because it sees evidence of spring, but because it understands the cycle. Because it knows that dissolution always precedes blooming. Your logical mind wants to fix this feeling. It wants to rush through it. It wants to find the old certainty again. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows that you can't go back to the old frequency. You've already outgrown it. The only way out is through the confusion, through the emptiness, through the complete surrender of who you thought you were supposed to be. And on the other side of that surrender is a version of you that you've been preparing for your entire life. A version that lives at your true frequency. A version that doesn't perform or pretend or people please. A version that simply is. So let's reframe what's actually happening. You're not lost. You're being redirected. Every time you feel directionless, your internal GPS is recalculating the route. Because the destination you were heading toward, you've outgrown it. The path you were walking, it was leading somewhere your soul no longer needs to go. And your higher consciousness recognized this before your logical mind could catch up. So it initiated a course correction. It removed your certainty about the old direction so you would stop walking toward a future that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Think about the relationships that suddenly feel distant. The friendships that used to energize you but now drain you. You haven't done anything wrong. They haven't done anything wrong. But you're vibrating at a different frequency now. And frequencies that don't match create dissonance. Your soul is naturally pulling away from connections that keep you tethered to your old identity. Not because those people are bad, but because staying close to them would mean staying small, would mean performing the old version of yourself to maintain the connection. And your soul refuses to shrink anymore. The same thing is happening with your career, your goals, your daily routines. That job that once felt stable now feels suffocating. Those ambitions that once motivated you now feel hollow. Those activities that once brought joy now feel like obligations. Your soul isn't sabotaging you. It's protecting you. It's making those old paths feel uncomfortable because they lead to a version of your life that would betray the person you're evolving into. The universe is literally making your old life uninhabitable so you'll finally leave it behind. And yes, it's terrifying, because you don't have the new clarity yet. You can see what you're leaving, but you can't see where you're going. You're standing in the void between two lives. One foot lifted off the old ground, but the new ground hasn't appeared yet. This is the trust fall. This is where awakening asks everything of you. It asks you to believe in a destination you can't see. It asks you to trust a process that makes no logical sense. It asks you to stand in the not knowing and call it sacred. But here's what you need to recognize. The fact that you feel lost means you're already changing. Most people never feel this. Most people stay comfortable in their conditioning. They live their entire lives at the borrowed frequency, never questioning it, never outgrowing it. But your soul has rejected the comfort of unconsciousness. It's chosen evolution over ease. And that choice comes with discomfort. It comes with uncertainty. It comes with this exact feeling of lostness you're experiencing right now. Let me tell you what's happening behind the scenes, in the invisible realm you can't perceive yet. Your energy is consolidating. Every time you feel disconnected from your old life, your energy is being withdrawn from those external attachments and redirected inward. You're becoming less dependent on outside validation, less controlled by others' opinions, less defined by societal metrics of success. Your power is coming back to you, and that process feels like loss. It feels like loneliness. It feels like disconnection, because you're disconnecting from everything that kept you externally focused and externally powered. You're also becoming more sensitive, more attuned. You can feel inauthenticity now in ways you couldn't before. You can sense when someone is performing instead of being real. You can detect manipulation, even subtle manipulation, that used to slip past you. You're allergic to superficiality now. Small talk exhausts you. Surface-level interactions feel pointless. This isn't you becoming judgmental. This is you operating at a higher frequency where lower frequency interactions simply don't register as meaningful anymore. You've upgraded your discernment, and that upgrade makes the old world feel alien. And the synchronicities, you've noticed them, haven't you? Numbers appearing repeatedly, songs with lyrics that speak directly to your situation, conversations that seem to answer questions you haven't asked out loud. The universe is confirming that you're on the right path, even when it feels like no path at all. These synchronicities are breadcrumbs. They're your soul's way of saying, keep going, keep trusting. You're exactly where you need to be. Because here's the truth they don't tell you about awakening. It doesn't feel enlightened. It feels chaotic. It doesn't feel like ascending. It feels like dissolving. It doesn't feel like finding yourself. It feels like losing everything you thought you were. But that's because awakening isn't about addition. It's about subtraction. It's about removing every false layer until only truth remains. And right now, you're in the removal phase. You're shedding the masks, dropping the armor, releasing the roles. And what's left underneath all of that is the raw, undefended, authentic you. The version that's been buried under years of adaptation and survival. That version is emerging, not all at once, not with fanfare or clarity, but slowly, in quiet moments, in the silence you're craving, in the solitude you're seeking. You're meeting yourself, maybe for the first time. And it's disorienting because this self doesn't match the identity you built. This self has different values, different desires, different boundaries, different dreams. This self wants things the old you never wanted, and rejects things the old you chased desperately. This self is unfamiliar, but it's real, it's yours, and it's been waiting for you to feel lost enough to finally find it. So you're not broken, you're breaking through. You're not falling apart, you're falling into alignment. You're not losing your mind, you're losing the borrowed mind and finding your own. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's confusing. Yes, it requires you to live in uncertainty for longer than you'd like. But this discomfort is not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something's finally right. It's a sign that your soul has decided to stop pretending, to stop performing, to stop living a life designed by everyone except you. Trust the timing. Trust that you're feeling this now because now is when you're ready. Not ready to have all the answers. Ready to sit in the questions. Not ready to see the full picture. Ready to take the next step without the full picture. Not ready to be certain. Ready to be courageous in uncertainty. Trust the emptiness making space. Trust what's being cleared from your life. Trust the relationships fading. Trust the passions dying. Trust the old dreams losing their grip. Because everything leaving is making room. And what's coming requires that room. You are being prepared. Right now. In this void. In this lostness. In this in-between. Your soul is recalibrating. Your frequency is adjusting. Your consciousness is expanding. And you can't rush it. You can't think your way through it. You can't force clarity before it's time. All you can do is trust. Trust the sign. This feeling of being lost. It's the sign you asked for. The sign that you're not stuck. The sign that you're moving. The sign that transformation has already begun. Trust the process. This isn't random chaos. This is orchestrated evolution. Your higher self is guiding this. Your soul knows exactly what it's doing even when your mind doesn't. Trust the discomfort. Every moment of confusion is rewiring your brain. Every moment of emptiness is detoxing your energy. Every moment of not knowing is teaching you to source wisdom from within instead of from outside. You're not lost. You're letting go. Letting go of the life that looked right but felt wrong. Letting go of the identity that fit society but suffocated your soul. Letting go of the need to know, the need to control, the need to have it all figured out. You're in free fall, and free fall feels like falling. But what if you're not falling? What if you're flying and you just haven't learned to recognize the sensation yet? What if this groundlessness isn't the problem? What if it's the point? Because you needed to lose the ground you were standing on. That ground was limiting you. That ground was keeping you small. That ground was the old paradigm. And you can't build a new life on an old foundation. So the foundation had to crumble. And yes, it's terrifying. But you're still here. Still breathing. Still conscious. Still evolving. The fact that you're watching this video means you haven't given up. The fact that you're searching for understanding means your soul is still reaching. Still growing. Still trusting on a level deeper than your fear. You are stronger than you realize. Braver than you feel. Closer to breakthrough than you can perceive. Because here's what happens next. After the dissolution comes the integration. After the emptiness comes the filling. After the lostness comes the finding. And you don't find the old you. You don't return to what was. You discover what's been there all along, waiting beneath the conditioning, waiting beneath the programming, waiting for you to feel lost enough to finally look inward instead of outward for direction. The new clarity is coming, not because you're forcing it, but because you're allowing it. Not because you're searching harder, but because you've stopped running from the void and started listening to it. Your soul is speaking in the silence. Your intuition is growing in the emptiness. Your true path is being revealed in the not knowing. And soon, sooner than you think, you'll look back on this phase and understand. You'll see that feeling lost was never the problem. It was the invitation. The invitation to stop living someone else's life and start living yours. The invitation to stop being who you were supposed to be and start being who you are. Trust the becoming. You are ready. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Digital Solace for more content on spirituality, higher consciousness, and self-improvement. This channel exists for moments exactly like this, when you need to hear that you're not alone, that what you're feeling is not only normal but necessary, that your awakening, however uncomfortable, is unfolding perfectly. The lostness was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to redirect you. And you found this message at the exact moment you needed to hear it. Not by accident, by design. Your soul orchestrated this moment. And now you know. What you're feeling isn't the end. It's the beginning. Trust the sign. You are ready for your breakthrough.